like different, and that's fine too. But you gotta be thankful. It's like you come into my house, you gotta follow the rules, right? And I think that's something that whether it's Europe or if it's the US, I think few things helps more, especially with who's the biggest threat, young males, right? And who takes care of them better than martial arts, right? Where you learn that it doesn't matter what religion you are, what ethnicity you are, what political party you belong to. We're all the same. We sweat the same sweat and we bleed the same blood.
Yeah, yeah. How did you end up in Los Angeles?
So I was living in Mexico at the time, and that's when I, was in contact with the U.S. military. It's a really long story, but I went to the U.S. I got my social through immigration. My social is that military social. Then 9/11 happened. I was still fine, and then
that's right.
Right. A long story short, it didn't end up happening because of things with immigrations at the time. Long story, but then I was like, well, my goal was to move to the US. That was my next 4 years planned. My goal was to join the military, then go into, CIA or FBI afterwards. And all of a sudden it's like, what do I do now?
Why CIA?
I've always, I was probably, especially being young, right?
Spy movies.
Yeah, all the movies and, James Bond and Jason Bourne and but I do believe in the service of good, right? And then when that couldn't happen, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do now? So I literally Googled sports management. I wanted to do something with sports, but I didn't know what. So
I don't think I introduced your degrees that you have too, right? What degrees do you have?
I have a master's in sports management and undergraduate in industrial relations with human resource management. Mm-hmm. But sports was my love, right? And I wanted to continue to fight. So I'm like, all right, who's got the best fighting? And this is 2001. So UFC still wasn't that big, right? So I was like boxing, kickboxing. I grew up with, Benny the Jet Orquides and Donnie the Dragon Wilson. And they were all in LA. So it was either Florida or LA. I wanted it to be warm and I wanted good fighting, and boxing, kickboxing, it was LA. So I looked up this place called Long Beach. The only thing I knew about it was that Snoop Dogg was from there. And then that's where I did my master's in sports management. And I thought I'd be here for a couple of years, and I've been here ever since.
Wow, cool. And then how did you start your school? How did that, because you were with you were in Santa Monica, right, for a minute?
Yes, I used to be the general manager of Krav Maga Worldwide, and that's truly where,
That's how you knew Elliot.
Yeah, exactly. And I was there. I was the general manager for a long time, and I would fight. When Strike Force came to LA, and we had our open workout at Krav Maga, and I wanted to open my own place because I wanted more of the fight. I was, self-defense at the time, especially that's what I was doing for work. My passion was fighting. I was still an active fighter, right? So, but over the years, so even systems, when we opened systems in 2013, we were the first gym in the South Bay with someone to go to the UFC. We had 5 or 6 guys go to the UFC. But as I became a father, as everything with being an activist, and now we have changed from being a fight gym to a martial arts gym, right? Where the whole family can train, where it's not intimidating to walk in, and it can still be intimidating for people, right? But and why? Because part of the reason is the non-profit, where it's like I've come to realize, like, if I truly want to make change, we have to create the next generation leaders. We have to teach people compassion and courage, right? To be an upstand and say, hey, this isn't okay, but also with other humans in mind, right? Like, and that's constantly the battle, right? Between our emotions, our empathy, and our rational thinking. Like, we want to include everyone, which is good, but we also have to be rational about it. Like, hey, we have to make decisions what's best for the whole group, not just for some, right? And I think martial arts does it better than anyone else.
Character training, right? There's nothing like it.
Yeah, and also when you're confident, right? Where when you believe in yourself, that's when you're calm. That's when you can hear the other person.